drivers are walking away from their cars to protest about the fact that in their view they don't get enough of a say in Grand Prix racing, and that was all triggered off and supported by the fact that the mechanics too are protesting, because Reutemann inadvertently hit a mechanic in the pit lane in practice, and the mechanics are protesting about the fact that they believe there's not enough room. And now the warm-up lap has been completed, and the drivers are readying now for the race, and this is going to be the start. The warm-up lap has been completed, and they're strangely long-winded about actually getting the grid organised. There is Siegfried Starr threading his way through the grid in the second of the two arrows. You can see Reutemann clapping his hands. That means to say he's got his engine running. He's worried about overheating. Frank Williams leans over Reutemann's car. Reutemann shows him the time, indicates when the race is going to start. Reutemann is obviously getting very, very agitated about the fact that his Williams car engine, the Ford V8, is overheating. Patrese too is agitated. Look at Patrese, and the Brabham mechanics are going to push Piquet's car back, and I think that Patrese has stalled his engine. This is more than mere agitation about overheating. Patrese waving his arms to indicate to the drivers behind him, in case the race starts, that his car engine is stalled. It started, the mechanic's gone down behind his car, and Siegfried Starr has smashed into the back of Patrese's car, and he's hit the mechanic. You can see the mechanic lying on the ground. This is absolutely appalling. A disastrous start, and the poor unfortunate Siegfried Starr is beside himself with agitation, as well he might be. Are they going to keep the race running? Because at the start and finish point on the grid there is Patrese's car, there is Starr's car, there is the stricken mechanic, and they're streaming now through the Jackie Ickx chicane, and Piquet goes through in the lead, and they're making no attempt to stop the race, with Pironi second, Reutemann third. Jones waves his arm. There's John Watson, who does the same. The drivers are very worried. They're waving their arms. And now Eddie Cheever is waving. He's extremely worried. They're slowing down. It looks to me, and the drivers have voluntarily stopped, and now the cars are being prepared again for a restart of this so far absolutely disastrous Belgian Grand Prix. Reutemann leads away. Pironi's going to challenge on the left. Pironi's going through the lead. Piquet is third. Watson is fourth. Jones is fifth. Villeneuve is sixth. And it's Pironi. Didier Pironi, the Frenchman in the 1.5-litre turbocharged Ferrari, as he did at Imola, is now leading the Belgian Grand Prix. Reutemann second. Piquet, Watson, Jones, Villeneuve. Lafitte is in seventh place. They complete the lap, and it's still the Ferrari, Pironi. Then the Williams of Carlos Reutemann, followed by Piquet. Alain Prost into the pits. The Frenchman, Arnoux, failed to qualify, and it looks as though he's in trouble too. Into the pits on lap 2. And it's still very close. Reutemann now right with Pironi. There's the race leader. These early laps are absolutely superb, because see the way Carlos Reutemann, Piquet and Jones are closing right up on Pironi. it's very interesting because the British Brabham and Williams Ford-powered cars handle much better under braking and steer much better than the Ferrari. But Pironi has got the power advantage, and when he gets to a straight bit, as he is doing now, he can put his foot down and drive away. We haven't had, I thought, and Jones trying to go through inside Piquet and failing. And it's still Pironi with Reutemann trying to find a way by Piquet behind Reutemann. Jones keeping his station. Watson and Lafitte. Then there's Villeneuve in 7th position. Nigel Mansell in 8th place. A marvellous drive, because this is only Nigel Mansell's 6th Grand Prix. Beautiful weather conditions. Been just like this in practice. And Alan Jones closing right up on Piquet there, trying to get through and take 3rd position, and he's right up and almost alongside Piquet, but Piquet brakes very late for the chicane. And Piquet's going through. Change of position, first change of position we've had in the top 6 places, and Nelson Piquet goes through and passes Carlos Reutemann. And Alan Jones is doing the same thing. Alan Jones is through into 3rd position, Reutemann down to 4th. That's exactly what I said could happen. Jones 3rd, Reutemann 4th, Watson 5th, number 26 Jacques Lafitte in 6th position. That's Piquet. That's Nelson Piquet. He's gone off. I can't see where it is. This is absolutely sensational on lap 11 out of 70. Nelson Piquet, the brilliant Brazilian driver, won the Argentine Grand Prix and the San Marino Grand Prix, but is very clearly out of the Belgian Grand Prix. Still Pironi, followed by Alan Jones, the world champion. Lafitte is up to 4th place. Watson to 5th. Villeneuve is in 6th position. Jabouille, there he goes, he's out of the pits and he's being caught and about to be lapped by the 4 leaders. When he moves over at the left-hander at Sterrewacht and lets them go through, and Jones is through. Alan Jones takes the lead, and Reutemann, something's wrong with Pironi. And now Alan Jones has moved through. We have the familiar sight of 2 Saudia Leyland Williams cars in 1st and 2nd positions. Jones is going quicker all the time. Jones is off! Jones is off into the barrier. It looks as though the course must be much slippier, and Jones hopping. He's putting his foot on the ground, so I don't think he's broken his ankle, but my goodness, that was absolutely sensational. As now Carlos Reutemann, the 3rd leader in the Belgian Grand Prix of 1981, goes through. And he has a very convincing lead over Jacques Lafitte now. Nigel Mansell in 3rd position. Watson 4th, Villeneuve 5th, De Angelis in 6th position. And I can see from my commentary box that there are actually spots of rain. We had a very big shower earlier on in the warm-up period this morning, which completely wetted the circuit. It came down totally unexpectedly. In the lead, Reutemann. In 2nd position, Lafitte. In 3rd position, Mansell. So Villeneuve is up into 4th place. De Angelis is up into 5th position. John Watson is in 6th position, and right behind John Watson is Eddie Cheever in the Tyrrell in 7th position. The wet tyre, there's wet tyres. I can't believe that anyone is going to come in, and that's the mechanic That's one of the Williams mechanics. I don't know what that strange flag is. It's certainly not the flag of Argentina. What? That's the checkered flag, and that's 55 laps. I cannot believe it. There's 15 laps to go, and the race has been stopped. Now, you can't possibly mistake 15 laps. I think, as I bemusedly watch them come in, I think what must have happened is that the race has run 2/3 distance. That's the finishing order, and it confirms Lafitte second, Mansell third, Villeneuve fourth, De Angelis fifth, and Watson sixth. And I think they must have decided to stop the race at 2/3 distance, which they're entitled to do, and still give full World Championship points, because the rain is coming down and they do not want to risk any repetition of the pit lane accident which happened in practice, or of course that unfortunate mechanic being hit at the beginning of the race when it first started today. Reutemann now leads by 12 points from Piquet, with Jones 4 points behind Piquet, and it looks as though Reutemann is on his way to be world champion of 1981.